evening. Thank you and welcome to our MSIB weekly product training. Do you know 2020 is a year for weight gain? Individuals all around the world experience this, as much as 50% in some countries. On average, one person gained 4 to 5 kg in a span of few months due to work from home arrangement. With how things are progressing now, look like we will continue to work from home, especially in Malaysia. Today is the first day of our full MCO. Yes, full lockdown again. Indefinitely, if we don't monitor our health now, soon we will be gaining a total of 10 kg or more. Let's learn from Claudia what ways we can do to overcome this huge problem. Over to you, Claudia.
Thank you, CK, for the introduction. And good evening to everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. And today is indeed the first day of our total lockdown in Malaysia. So give me a moment as I share my screen for today. Okay, so for the longest time, for the past few centuries, humans have been trying to find a way, the best diet for them to be able to stay healthy. So especially now, this has always been very trendy, right? Should I go vegetarian? Vegetarian is good, so on and so forth. Is cholesterol good for me? This is quite a controversial topic. Are dairy products good? It may not be suitable for me. It's not a good food. Should I eat butter? Is a low-fat diet healthy? And now it is low-carb diet or low or high-protein diet healthy? Or do I need to count calories? So these are questions that the society has been asking time and time again. And the research has always been showing up, then down, then up, and down again. And these are just some of the fundamental questions that has been driving the health industry. And in order for us to achieve our goals better, there is where all kinds of gadget and technology has come into the picture. We have iWatch, Apple Watch, we have all kinds of watch that can measure even your heart rate and how much you burn. And now there are even machines that can measure your fat percentage, linking it with your phone. So there are all kinds of technology present in hopes for us as a society to be healthier and to hopefully overcome all the health issues. But in the year 2020, it seems that situation has not changed as much as it wanted to. All right, 1 in 5 Malaysians have diabetes. And if this is not serious enough, more than 50% of the population is overweight or obese. 50%. This is half of the total population. And 47.7%, this is very close to 50% already, have high cholesterol issues. And if these health indicators are not serious enough, there's a more problematic behavior. 95% of Malaysians do not consume enough fruits and vegetables, despite of how much we have been trying to encourage people to be eating more fruits and vegetables. Well, now we know it's a very trendy thing to eat salad bowls and things like that, but doesn't seem to propel the nation at a better health state. In fact, it's still getting worse each passing year. And well, last year was definitely a year that took us by storm. None of us would have expected that a huge hit of a pandemic would happen. And as I was preparing today's session, it just brought me back to the past. 1 year ago when I was also doing presentation at this exact time. And that was when there is the first lockdown to curb this problem. So we once thought that this is something that would pass. And back then it was only just 1 or 2 cases. And we think that, this will pass in a short span of time. We're doing well. But fast forward 1 year later, look where we are now. It seems that we are grappling with this situation even worse than before. And because of this working from home arrangement has extended. Well, none of us would have expected that this could carry on for a year and beyond, even how much it would have impacted our economy. So now with this lockdown in Malaysia, it says 2 weeks, but who knows how long is this going to drag? And it's no surprise if it will continue to go on for a long period of time. And because of this 2020 crisis, this is not just a situation that's happening in Malaysia or Singapore. It's happening globally. And what are the ramifications, all right, or the impact, all right, of this situation? So Italy, as we know, is a very big nation. 48.6% of the population has gained weight. And just so you know, their population is double the size of Malaysia. So 48% is a lot of people. Okay, it's a huge percentage. Let's look at other countries. Poland and China, both of these countries gain 30%. And in the other part of the world, which is India, has gained a total of 40%. So these are big nations and they stacked up pretty high in the weight gain percentage. So you may be thinking that this is not relevant to you because, well, this is so far away from Malaysia or Singapore. It wouldn't happen in my country. But I was able to find some local studies. In Singapore, the weight gain is 30%. So 30% is actually the same as China. All right, so it has world ranking, okay? In case you are feeling very confident about yourself, it has world ranking in terms of weight gain. How about Malaysia? So I can only find this figure, all right? It states 19%. So I don't know about how you feel when you look at this. You might be feeling a bit happier, but to be frank, I don't think this figure is really representative of what is going on. Okay, I find many different news outlets, okay, the Star or Malay Mail, they all report the same because they all take from the same organization that does this study. So I have no idea what is the extent of their survey. Exactly how many people they have been dispensing this questionnaire to ask about their weight gain. If you ask me, I think it's not 19%. I think 90% is more accurate to describe our weight gain status. Almost everyone I know and every family member that I know has gained weight during this period of time. And this is a time where the whole trend about baking and cooking was all the hype. Well, I remember I was cooking every day and I was baking almost every day. And I was crazy over banana bread and the Japanese cheesecake that I'm trying to do in the oven. So if you ask me, like, I'm not exaggerating. Almost everyone I come in contact with has told me that they have gained weight at this time. So there's only one person that I know, seriously, one person that I know that has lost weight. And that is also because she lived alone. So it's a different story, right? So I don't think this 19% is really accurate. Okay, unfortunately, this is the only data that I have. But to be frank, I think we all know, okay, in our hearts, the figure is definitely more than 19, at least a 50%. Okay, 50% is just, giving ourselves a bit of leeway. And the average weight gain during this span of time in 2020 is 4 to 5 kg, Usually holiday seasons at most is just 2 to 3, but 4 to 5 kg is a lot. And for those who gain weight, you would know how difficult to even lose that 1 kilo, right? Oh my gosh, to lose that 1 kilo, you have to sacrifice so much. And imagine you gain 5 kg, right? And to lose that on top of being work from home is definitely not an easy task. And if this situation continues, which I think will, all these statistics that we talked about in depth just now, diabetes, overweight, and poor food intake, is just going to get worse during this pandemic. And do you know of a friend that you've seen them, in their 20s, they look young, they look fresh, and they look fit. But after 5 years, you see them, you can see that they have increased drastically in their weight. And this is the most noticeable difference that we will observe in our friends. Right? I'm sure all of us at least have one friend that we can think of. And the same happened around my social circle as well. So this happened over time, 2 kg during the holiday. So now with how we are gaining at 5 kg in a few months, can you imagine how much you will gain in 5 years? And if you don't do anything at all, I'm sure we will become like this, not 5 years later, but 5 months later. I'm serious, okay? Don't think that this is not going to be you, it can be you. So for those who are very fit, you may be attending today's call thinking that, this session is not relevant to me. I always have a good metabolism. No way I can become like this. Well, you cannot be too confident. If you can even maintain your weight, like don't gain a single kilo during this work from home, it is already kudos to you. You have to put a lot of conscious effort to make sure that you will maintain that weight. So for those who gain weight easily, what more for us that we have to take extra precaution to ensure that we can stay at a healthy weight at all times. So why is it staying from home can cause such a huge weight gain in a short amount of time? That is because it's unlike how we eat in the past. Well, way back, we always have fellowship sessions. We can have a good meal with our family members. And back then, you don't have so much distraction. Like now, okay, back then, we don't have phones and gadgets as much. So we really, really enjoy the meal. And we truly bond with our family member or our friends of our food and just how our day went by. And we have lost that touch that we do every day. Now with distractions and we get information at such a fast-paced speed that we are always being distracted. And working at the same time, you have to manage your kid, all right? Your kid may be shouting or fighting and you have to attend to them. So there's no way you can focus. Doing anything is, you have to do it in a rush and in a hurry. So this has actually caused us not just only our attention span, but has caused us our food intake. Right? Studies have shown that due to this distraction, we no longer eat mindfully. When was the last time that you really enjoyed a meal? That you really sit down in front of the food and you eat for 30 minutes? I think for us, we just eat in 10 minutes, we are done with our food already, right? Now we don't eat to enjoy, we eat to just don't feel hungry. And time passed so fast, we have another meeting to catch it at 2 o'clock, so you have to quickly eat and work at the same time, right? So because of this, we eat very fast. We eat mindlessly. We just eat. And once we are done, okay, then go to work. So our body does not have enough time for our gut to make the connection with our brain to tell us that we are full. So because of this, we end up eating more. Okay, we eat a lot more and a lot faster. So the calories that we end up consuming could be more than double if we were to enjoy a meal for half an hour. So I'm sure everybody eat very fast nowadays. So because of this, we have subconsciously consumed more calories than we should. Next, boredom, right? This is something that I'm sure everybody could relate, because gone are the days where we used to go to the mall, where we walk to our car park, we can still take the lift. Even though we may be sedentary in the office, but at least we still walk, across the table to talk to our colleagues, right? So now, with all of that gone, we find ourselves confined to our own home. So what can you do, right? Such a small space. So with the excess energy we have, feel bored, naturally we will dash to the fridge to give us some excitement. Okay, apart from all the work and stuff like that, the fridge is like our comfort haven, where all our comfort food is stored in that place. So every 10 minutes or 30 minutes, you will go to the fridge and check for something to eat, right? So let's just look, all right, in detail of how our meal will look like every day during this pandemic. So for breakfast, this is very popular, as we know. Okay, 20 years, this is famous since my parents' day, and even until today, we still enjoy eating crackers with a chocolate drink, right? So this is not really considered food, this is considered a snack. So cream crackers, 4 pieces is 160 calories. Together with chocolate drink is 120. So obviously we will not stop with just this, right? How is this enough? So during breakfast, we definitely want to fill our tummy with something extra. So for some of us, we will eat bread with sardine or tuna. And this is considered the healthier option. I'm sure there are some people who will be eating some fried rice or noodles or something like that, cooked noodles to eat more filling, right? Because how is sandwich enough? So sardine sandwich calories is 315. So in total, your breakfast alone would be up to 600 calories. Breakfast. Then after that, it's lunch time. Okay, we have to rush because the meeting is at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., for example. So we would either order Grab, which is super convenient, or we would just simply, if we still have parents to cook for us or our family members to cook for us, that's really a privilege. But a lot of us, we just whip something, or just go and buy from outside. So typically, this is what a lunch would look like. There will be some veggies, some meat, and rice. So you may think that, oh, this looks normal. It doesn't really, nothing special. But we have to be mindful that this is provided, this is really food from outside. And even you do cook at home, you put oil, right? So for veggie and egg, you need to put oil, and all this will add up around, we say, 200 calories. And for chicken, this is considered you put a lot more oil, so it's 200, and with rice, 100. So 500 is also considered at the borderline, and I'm sure many people will have exceeded. Okay, 600 can be up to 700 for lunch. Then work halfway, we feel bored, right? After working, very restless, we need to walk around. So we will go to the fridge. So what kind of food we will reach out during this time? So we will grab our favorite potato chips, the very crispy type, ice cream, all kinds of flavor. Okay, and now because of this pandemic, a lot of small businesses are thriving. So speaking from personal experience, I see a lot of very, very attractive dessert. Like seriously, every single time I look at whatever social media platform, there will always be an advertisement. And they look very, very good, This is one of them. Okay, this is cinnamon roll, and now they have all kinds of topping. There's one standard one, and now there's green tea, there is biscotti, and there is chocolate topping. And nowadays, all this dessert that's being shared online is very, very attractive. So you will easily find yourself ordering one at home to put in the fridge, right? And of course, this biscuit and chocolate drink, you can take anytime. And it doesn't matter how many times you take in a day. It's good breakfast and it's also good for snack. So all these things are just for a serving. And I'm pretty sure we don't stop at one serving. How can you stop eating potato chips in one serving? Only one handful. Are you serious? And sometimes we mix two of this snack in one sitting. After we eat the potato chip, we also want to eat the ice cream. So it's a combo, right? And worse, sometimes we can even eat all of them in one sitting. So for the benefit of today's sharing, let's just put 400. If you can even eat 2 handfuls, consider you're controlling yourself already. Okay? And there's dinner. Dinner, of course, this is usually the time we will eat a more wholesome meal. But to be frank, the food that we cook at home is not that healthy also. Because if you look at this picture, this deep fried fish, right? And obviously the one in the middle is some gravy, which I'm sure there's you need to use a lot of oil. Okay, if not, it will not produce such a tasty looking dish. So sometimes the danger about food we eat in our home, especially when we cook, is the portion size. Well, it's not like take out, you take, then you eat. That's all you're going to eat. If your mom so happen cook your favorite fried chicken or your favorite fried dish, you'll be taking, I'm sure, more than 1 helping. 2, easily 3 serving, you'll be top up, and you just eat and eat and eat. So by the time you feel full, you are eating, I don't know how many calories already. So for the benefit of this into consideration, I just put up to 600 to 700. It could be more, right? Depending on how much you're going to eat at that time. So after dinner is obviously TV time. Okay, what is home without TV? So watching the TV, it can't be just watching the TV only, right? It's so boring. Definitely we will bring a snack along with us to make the atmosphere a lot more lively. So we will have chips, ice cream, this time a different flavor, chocolate cake. Cake is the worst, to be honest. Dessert, especially cake, is the worst. It's the most sugar, the most flour, but it's also the most tasty. Okay, and this Milo, cannot say that. Sorry, chocolate drink. Okay, this one also is something that we can take, all right? So during TV time, sometimes we can be taking a lot, all right? So it could be 400 or sometimes even more. So one day, the calories that we're eating is 2,700. This is just now all that we have been taking. And just by eating snacks alone, it is 1,081 kilocalories. Okay, I also put in the biscuit and the chocolate drink together because that is not a whole food. That is considered a snack as well. So you can see based on these figures. First of all, the calories is high and a big portion of it is from snacks. So snacking can be so dangerous. It can increase calorie intake by 40%. And with the illustration that we went through just now, this is true. It's exactly 40%. And weight, obviously, is no surprise that you will gain 0.5 kg in 1 week. And the danger is that this can become permanent. And the worst is significant increase in liver and belly fat can become a problem if you continue to snack. So as much as it gives us enjoyment and full of joy, but there it comes the consequences. So it's very dangerous if we were to overconsume on snacks. And of course, sometimes you want to be healthy. Okay, I'm pretty sure everybody have good intentions that they want to be healthy. But the problem is the people around you may not share the same goal. People around you may still like to eat all these frozen food, okay, may like to eat burgers and fries and things like that. And the worst is that they will ask you to join them. Okay, even though they know that you're on a diet now, but your family members are not dieting, right? So the environment can be very challenging. I can share this from my own personal experience. All right. Just yesterday, all right, my mom was just asking me, hey, I have a craving to drink bubble tea. Can I order Grab? And I was like, hey, cannot. Then after, back and forth, I think it's no surprise, that in the end, I also order one for myself. So this is a real problem. In fact, it's even proven scientifically that individuals who witness another person that eats unhealthy food would also gain weight. So even though you have good intentions to remain healthy, but your environment can have a significant effect on your behavior that will cause you to overeat. So of course, this time, I'm sure we know, every day we have the most updated news on the worst case scenario every day. We don't get reported on the good news. We always are reported with the bad news because bad news always give good press, right? So just a few days ago, Malaysia, we have gone through a storm, all right? All kinds of incidents, and every day you look at the case, oh my gosh, all right, I'll be exactly like this person, frowning at the phone. So every day when we look at this news, we think it's just entertainment, right? But in reality, all these news that bombard us on a daily basis has a much more significant effect than what we feel emotionally. Okay, let's go through the process of how stress works in the body. So cortisol is a stress hormone that will be activated whenever we are emotionally disturbed. So this is actually designed in humans just so that, all right, in a situation that we were to meet a real life threatening incident. So if in real life we were to meet a tiger, for example, okay, our body want to protect us. So it will try to convert all the food stores in our body into sugar. So it will try to use up, convert all the food stores so that we have increased sugar to meet our needs, right? So that we have all the energy and adrenaline to run away from a threat that would potentially harm us. So this is what we call the fight or flight response that is built into our system for us to survive through dangerous situations. Now, however, we are now in a place of abundance, right? Obviously, we are safe. But all this bad news that we are always seeing and all this kind of thing that is in our mind can exhibit this same response in our body without us noticing. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it does not happen. So when this stress increase, when you look at the case today, 9,000, 10,000, okay, it's going to increase our sugar level. Our food stores will be mobilized. Sugar will be immediately be in the bloodstream to give us instant energy in case we have to run. And this sugar will deplete because all our food stores are being mobilized, so our body cells will be very hungry. So then it will keep triggering. We need more sugar to be in the blood. So that's when all your trigger, will come in. And you will always want to look for food that is sweet or deep fried. Why? Because this will give instant energy to your body in preparation of that fight or flight. And because we need to keep, your body is also in a state that it has to be in the survival mode. So it will try to store fat. All right, you will be thinking that, oh, it's now very stressed, so I have to store fat. And the worst is the body will try to protect itself by mobilizing all these fat store as visceral fat to protect your organ. All right, so this is the dangerous one. It will migrate to become visceral, and it will speed up fat cell growth. Because your body is thinking that, oh, it's now in a dangerous situation, so I need to quickly hoard, need to have as much fat cells as possible. So all these things are happening in the body as you are stressed. So, stress is not just only an emotional reaction. Okay, it has such a complicated, and everything, as you can see here, is interrelated. When you're stressed, it makes you eat more, it stores more fat, and it just makes a person more unhealthy. So in reality, we're not stressed. But with all these cases that we see every day, it will trigger such a response in our body. And of course, it slows down metabolism as well. And last but not least, because of how we are at home, obviously we don't move as much. We like to sit down, okay, and we like to lie on the sofa as we check the screen. So sitting down has now made us sick. Right? The sedentary lifestyle is a huge problem worldwide. And now, especially with work from home, we are even more inactive. And now, because of that, younger and younger people are starting to have joint pains, joint problems, and it's very common now because of the long sitting hours. So with all these things that we cannot avoid during this lockdown period, what to do? Isn't it frustrating? And it looks like this is going to go on for indefinite period. So what we can do to prevent all this from happening? So there are three major roadblocks. Number one is the focus and the mood, because to counter the first problem, which is distraction, and obviously the stress as well. Secondly, appetite and self-control. Just in case somebody were to ask you to drink bubble tea, can you say no? And thirdly, to ramp up that metabolism. So here we have some fantastic products that can really help us to overcome this problem. And first, we will go with Unimate. And here there are some core ingredients that are very, very important to counter the effects of distraction and to stabilize our mood. So we have chlorogenic acid, theobromine, and caffeine. So three of these components help to elevate our focus and to stabilize our mood, to make sure that we can be stable and grounded during this turbulent time. So Unimate, okay, because of the strong chlorogenic acid content, right, it's shown that it's able to reduce stress level. So when this is reduced in our body, then our sugar level also will reduce. The body don't feel there's a need to mobilize sugar, and as a result, it will reduce craving. Suddenly we feel, we don't have to eat all these things and we can say no, and this result in us eating lesser. And by eating lesser, our fat cells then have the opportunity to be burned as energy. So you see, Unimate, even though this is a topic that we should be talking last month, but I find it to be so crucial, especially this time, that it has to be brought up in today's session. Unimate is key to breaking the cycle of stress that we face on a daily basis. So what you have in your hands is more than just something that can give you this emotional balance. The effect can even trigger to your body organs and your body cell on how it can benefit us as a whole. And on top of that, all right, Unimate also have other components such as, chlorogenic acid and saponin. So chlorogenic acid have two functions. First, on the mood and the focus side, but together with saponin, it can also help to stabilize the sugar level in our blood, which is very crucial during work from home time. And it also can help to stop that visceral fat from forming by burning fat. So both of these are also very important points that we need to have at this time to safeguard our health. So this is where Unimate plays a very important role. So Unimate can further help us to reduce the problem of sugar that can be in the blood and fat as well. So it has benefits on our brain, on our mood, and even to our sugar and fat in the body. And just so you know, Unimate is not just like any other tea. The chlorogenic component is 375 times more than a standard yerba mate. So remember about the cycle that we talked about just now? So this has 375 times more. So you can imagine the impact of how drastic it can reduce the stress level in our brain and in our body. So just so you know, the packet of Unimate you have is not an ordinary drink, yeah? It has very, very powerful effects once we consume it in our body. Okay, it's more, 60 times more than a cup of coffee and 100 times more than a cup of green tea. And theobromine, another happy hormone, it's another component that increases happiness, 3 times the amount compared to a bar of dark chocolate. So if anything at all, I think this has showed you the significant effects of Unimate and how it can help our body tremendously. So Unimate, in summary, can reduce stress levels, give us a focus that's sustainable for the whole day, regulate healthy sugar levels, and utilize fat cells. And I have to go through these nutrition principles because, once again, they're very important. We have to prioritize protein to make sure we have good quality protein in our system. Fuel with fat, not unhealthy fats, but good fat that will bring benefit to our health. Control carbohydrate and intermittent fasting. So 4 of these principles, they have to work hand in hand. Okay, you can't do one without another. 4 of them collectively, if you do practice, it can help to stabilize our insulin level. Because fat and protein does not cause insulin increase like carbs. 4-4-12 give us the time to enter the fat burning zone. So if you want to get that fat moving, we have to make sure that we follow this schedule. So what is so important about this fat burning zone? So when insulin is very low or absent, body is using stored fat as energy instead of glucose. So if we really, really want to make full use of this work from home to give us the results that we want in our fat percentage, we have to make sure that we maintain healthy insulin level. It has to be low enough so our body can enter this fat burning stage. So for us to achieve this objective, we have products that can help. So for low carb options, you have LC base, right? That is consisted of high quality coconut oil and high quality protein. And this, when taken together with Unimate fuel, can really ramp up the fat burning effect. So both of these work hand in hand together. And if you really follow through, you can see results immediately. So if low carb is not for you, and you think that going for a more moderate carb protein is something more for your body, then we have plenty of options for you as well. So we have Essence, LC, chocolate, there's LC Build as well, okay, vanilla, that all fall in this range. Okay, LC Build then fall in this category. So in Unicity, we have so many options for you to choose from depending on your goals and what is best for your body. So let's say that we just take LC Essence, 1 serving, okay? The calorie is 120. So if you take this 3 times a day, it's only 360 calories to put in your breakfast, middle of the day, and TV time. So compared to what we talked about just now, a huge difference, right? LC essence, you take 3 times, even 4 times also not 1,000 calories through snacking. So you can imagine how much this protein will save you, like literally save your health from the damaging effect of excessive calories. I mean, if you just do a quick comparison, maybe we have LC chocolate, 130, LC build, 60 kilocalories, I'm telling you, is very, very low. It's lower than an apple. So taking this, you don't even have to think about calories. Okay, and LC vanilla. So our usual snacks, just one handful already is more than one serving of our protein shakes. Okay, and ice cream, if you eat 2 scoop, 3 scoop. Okay, of course, chocolate drink and biscuit and cake. So you just see one serving and one serving, what is the difference? And how much over time, if you were to take this, it will benefit our health. One that will destroy our health and another that will benefit us tremendously. So of course, before the big meal that we all have to eat, we all enjoy our parents' cooking, right? We have to take into consideration Balzac S and C. And just to let you know, both of these have its very significant function just on managing our insulin and cholesterol. Some of you may be thinking that, oh, since Unimate can help to reduce the sugar and fat, then I may not need both of these, since it does that function, right? But just so you know, when we talk about cholesterol, right, this is not fat molecule, you know. Fat is big structure. But when it comes to cholesterol, there is triglyceride, there's LDL. And all these things are very, very fine and they float in our bloodstream. So in order for us to really target that, we still need a very specific kind of fiber, all right, which is in our bowel life to really help to reduce and manage that cholesterol level. And I don't have time today, but the technology behind this is really amazing as well. Okay, it has the technology to reduce cholesterol in our food and in our body. And likewise with sugar. Okay, the type of specificity that S has towards reducing our sugar is definitely way more than Unimate alone. So what Unimate does is a supporting function of reducing your fat and sugar. But if you're talking about really wanting to reduce that sugar and cholesterol, still is our Bioslife range that is the core. So both of these you take and you support it with Unimate, then it's very good. Okay, so this is just a quick tip for those who are very serious, okay, into tracking your overall diet. I highly encourage you to use our food tracking app. Okay, we have this Unicity Activate that you can track very specifically your exercise even, okay, your exercise, your meal, your whole insulin graph, all right, fat burning points. And the thing is, we will forget what we eat. Sometimes we think, hey, we didn't eat this. But actually, in reality, we ate like a bag of chips this morning, but at night, oh, we forgot. So this can really give us an idea of what we eat in a day, so then we can better control our food intake. So for those who are, members, you can just download this for free. Okay, it's available in our app. Okay, so approaching the last point, I just want to touch on this very important subject as well. Okay, 1 in 4 Malaysians are not active. So you may be thinking that, oh, okay, yeah, this is not very common. But our statistic is greater than a global average, okay, in terms of inactivity. And death as a result of inactivity is also greater than the global average. So not only that Malaysians are not physically active, we die because of that a lot more greater than countries around the world. So if you ask me, I think this is pretty serious and we should be more proactive about it. So this is why we need to get moving. All right, exercise has a lot of benefits, tremendous, and the pros definitely outweighs the con. So if we exercise, especially now when we are sitting more often, we can make our heart stronger, we can breathe better, our mind will be clearer, we have smoother joints, we lose weight faster, and it can also delay or prevent chronic illnesses and many more. So with all these benefits, I don't need to explain more, right? It's very, very important for us. So here are some basic exercise to follow, okay? If you are somebody who is not very active. So these are just a few guidelines to get you started. So firstly, we have to work on our lower body, okay? Because all our major joints are from the lower body. So do a basic squat, all right, 10 times, because it can help to strengthen muscle in the leg, knees, and give us flexibility in the lower body. So one exercise for that, and another is for the core. Because our abs, okay, our core is responsible to keep our back straight. So this is for those who are relatively fit, okay? If this is too difficult, you can go for a lower impact one where they use their hands to support. So plank, go with 30 seconds first. Even 30 seconds is difficult for a new person, but try to stick to this. It can really help to strengthen your core and your upper body. So both of that help to target our main muscle groups. Last but not least, we have to incorporate more cardio in our system. So we have to jump more, jumping jacks at least 10 times, okay, to give us that cardio, heart rate, breathing. And for lower impact, for those who may not be able to jump, then you can jog in place for at least 30 seconds. So you can also give us the same benefit. So we need to have at least 3 types of exercise to give us a more complete health benefit. So try to do this at least 15 minutes. If you can do 15 minutes every day, it's actually very good. Then from there, you can increase your time. So here are a few tips. The first time to work out is in the morning, all right? It's still in the morning, but you can, of course, adjust this timing in the afternoon or evening, okay? Most importantly, you work out. For moderate intensity, workout on empty stomach can support fat burning. So this is for workout that are not too intensive, right? But if you're like lifting weights, you're gonna be running a lot, jumping a lot, then this is not recommended. But if you're gonna do a quick workout before work, right, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, this can still do. It can really help to accelerate our fat burning as well. But for high intensity workout, need to have breakfast at least 1 hour before workout, right? Especially if you're going to go 1 hour, 45 minutes. This is very important to make sure that you won't be tired, because it will compromise your performance as well. So it's better to have a proper breakfast 1 hour before. So a protein shake after workout supports muscle recovery. So it's highly recommended that you take our protein shakes before or after workout. So just in case, if you're finding it difficult to work out in the morning, okay, then E, for me, this is what I do. I mix E with L-C-Essence. So this is like my morning shake, and when I drink it, immediately it can help me to go into the workout mode. So in summary of today's session, to overcome anything, including the problem you have now, there are 3 important points that you have to always remember. Number 1 is your diet. Always go for a healthier option, go for the lower calorie option, and stick to the diet that works for you. The macro, okay, low carb or low fat, okay, is really something that only you will know. So keep the consideration of that. Second, supplements. As you can see just now, sometimes we will get hungry during snack time. So L-C-Essence or just one protein shake can make the difference, all right, compared to whatever snack that we're going to eat. Last but not least, exercise. Okay, it's so important that I have to put a session just to talk about this. So if we do 3 of these points, you then can be rest assured that you'll be fine during this time. And all these habits will not just only guarantee you good health now, but it will compound and give you good and lasting health throughout your lifetime. So I hope you have learned a thing or two today. It's a bit long, today's session. Okay, so before we go into Q&A, there's some very interesting news that I want to share with you. Okay, so we have just launched this Dreams Made Easy campaign. And I know that now with whatever that's going on, a lot of things are cancelled, right? A lot of events are cancelled. A lot of good things are cancelled because of pandemic. But in Unicity, we are different. This is the time we feel that we really, really have to stand in the gap to support our distributors. All right, we want to motivate you and we want to invest in you. And we know that your health and your success is important. So in order to give some excitement and give you some goals and something exciting to look forward to, this is where we have this incentive. And this is very different from our usual incentive because it is made exactly like this tagline, right? We make dreams easy for you. It's achievable. Regardless of whatever rank you are new, you're old, all right? There's always something to look forward to and you can hit it actually. Okay, and best thing is free membership with 50 PV. And as you can see here, we have different categories for new all the way to advanced level. And there's a choice and a selection of gadget that you can choose from. So not just only one for you, you have different variation that you can choose if you achieve it. The best obviously is the iPhone 12 Pro with the highest GB. So this is something very exciting. Shortly, we will be sharing the T&C as well. But on top of that, we also still have our defense pack, okay, which is very, very important at this time to keep us safe. So for Singapore, we have this. Okay, Malaysia, and this is for Brunei. So all three countries have the basic pack to keep you healthy. Okay, so my presentation is until here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask or share. Right, looks like everybody are very well informed. So there isn't really much to talk about. So if you have any questions still, regarding our products or how to go about during this time, please feel free to drop me an email and I'll be glad to assist. So thank you so much for your time, all right, for forking out your time and attention, and we really appreciate it, and we hope that you've learned a thing or two from today. So have a good night and rest easy. Bye.